Right, so welcome back YouTube. We've got pull day today here at FLF. The reason we're at FLF is because we've just had the Team MK annual show day. We're training now to be able to get home because little Miss Sina Bina, the dog, needs to be let out so that obviously she's not at home 50 million hours on her own, because the usual doggy sitters, my mum and dad, are on holiday in the south of England having their best life, so that is why we need to get home swiftly. So this session slightly changed since the last time I did it. I have more lat work compared to upper back work. That is because Kuba wants me to have a little bit more taper compared to thickness in my upper. The thickness is there, so I don't really need any more, especially for my class. So it'll literally just be about all the lats, getting all that taper for the front shot and the back shot for the Olympia. I'll go through my session as we go throughout it, and hopefully you'll pick up some wonderful tips along the way. Pull. Yeah. I just have a bit of legs as well though today. Right, so first exercise for me is the glute med kickback. Slightly different to a normal kickback, obviously not using my entire glute. I literally just wanting to isolate the glute med, which is this part here at the top that is very shit on me. So what I'm trying to think about here is my range of motion is a little bit smaller, my legs slightly kicking out compared to back, and I'm keeping my chest a little bit more upright.
Good. And then really just give you a proper kick, don't finesse it. Yes!
It's really nice.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
You can use that.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Instead of the cable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, then you can just
It's really nice. Change of plan. Everybody's using the cables, so I'm going to use the machine kickback. This is the prime variety. Never used it before. Actually feels fantastic. Obviously, I am still trying to keep my foot slightly turned out so that I am using my glute med a lot. But yeah, going to see how we go with this.
proper kick so that it doesn't stick. Nice. Make sure you put a shot in it. Just be aggressive with it. And then take eccentrics. That's a proper kick. Oh yes. Feel good?
Yeah, it feels really good. That's really hard. Feels absolutely amazing. I was not being aggressive enough, so I needed to drive my foot a little bit quicker. Good. Lovely. Very nice. So here I am trying to still keep my hips slightly tucked like I would do on a cable, so pretty much the same form tips as what I would usually say. Core tight, hips under, really trying to keep that back neutral as the leg drives back so that you can really get the glute short. If you arch the back as the leg comes back, you can't really get that squeeze on the glute. And if you are someone that struggles with connection like me, you need to do everything that you possibly can to make sure that that squeeze and that contraction really happens. Second exercise is a back movement. So here we have a lat pull down on the prime piece. We're loading it with 75 at the top, 25 in the mid. That's kind of mid to lengthened range that we're targeting there. Just because the shortened range on most prime pieces is already quite heavy. So I would never really put it on the shortened pin. If you are a competitor who doesn't really need arms, so say from the figure class, and you get told that you have too much arm, but you don't actually train arms, it is probably because you do a lot of your back movements with your arms rather than actually doing it correctly with your lat. So instead of doing a lot of movements, jerky, fast, pulling it in, you're going to be using a lot of arm. You want to think about keeping your forearm and your elbow stacked as you pull it down and into the pocket of your hip. Your hand should not come towards your face. It is stacked above your elbow as the elbow comes into the hip. That way you will get lats and no arms. That way you'll be able to get good feedback with more lats, less biceps. I like to make sure that I take a second between one side and the next. I don't like to go straight away, otherwise I find that I am a little bit weaker. Take a second, 30 seconds to a minute, and then get cracked on with that next side. That was good. Obviously, yes, I am in a different gym, and I probably wouldn't use my logbook usually, but FLF has the same equipment really as UltraFlex, so that's why I'm still using my logbook apart from for the first movement, obviously. It's a great way to be able to try and push for progress. If you're someone that likes that challenge, likes to be able to feel like you're going somewhere with your training, logbooking is the best tool for that. So if you don't use it and you like that, do it. If you don't like it, don't do it. The third exercise is barbell RDLs. I'm doing higher rep compared to what I used to do. My reps before were 6 to 8, they are now 10 to 15, so that's why the weight's not quite as heavy, but still heavy. With this one, me and Kuba broke my RDLs down a little bit with my dumbbells because I have a real bad tendency to do this with my shoulders. We've done a lot of work with me retracting a little to enable me to be able to keep my chest tall, which allows me to be able to keep tension into my glutes. If I round a lot, yes, I can move a lot of load, but I am just using a lot of my mid-back, which is fine, but I don't need a lot more mid-back, I need a lot more glute. So that's why we broke it down and obviously pulled it back, added the higher rep range, and hopefully over time we can build that back up to the 4 plates, but with higher reps. But that was good, 12 reps for 150, so very happy. Next movement is the upper back row. Usually at home I do the plate loaded prime, but this is much of the same. The divergence pretty similar, and if I change the resistance profile, it just pretty much matches what I do at home with the plates. So anyway, upper back row. I'm focusing on keeping my chest tall, but that doesn't mean that my back is arched, my back is still neutral. People do a lot of this with their upper backs, and that's not really going to take tension into your upper back because you're almost pulling yourself away from it. You need to drive your chest in, let your scapulars retract, and your elbows really drive back. Like you can actually see it. Whereas if I'm there, it's not going to happen because I'm almost not allowing for my elbows to go any further back because I'm pulling my chest back. So don't make it easier, make it harder. If you do it like that, again, like I was talking about with the lat pulls, you will use a lot of bicep because that's just where you'll take it. Silly sausages. Right, rep ranges. That set was supposed to be a 10 to 15 rep range. I got 12, which is great. I'm now moving the resistance so that it's heavier in the stretch, meaning that it will be almost a little bit more challenging. So I am going to drop the load. Hopefully we'll get around the 12 reps because that's 10 to 15 as well, especially with dropping the weight a little bit. We were watching a YouTube channel the other day and they talked about top sets and back off sets, how a top set's about grinding the reps and a back off's about improving the form. That's not right. You need to keep correct form all the time. Your sets aren't easier if you make or have worse form. Does that make sense? It is harder if you keep correct form. If you are truly training to mechanical failure, the only thing that happens on your last rep is that it's a grinder slow rep. The form doesn't really break down, it's just that it is much slower. If you train properly, you will be less at risk for injury and you will find that the movements will be harder, you'll keep more tension and feel into the muscle that you're supposed to be working. So the top set is about heavier load, intense sets, good form. Back off sets, lighter weight, more reps usually, but the intensity stays the same and the form stays good. If you need more traps for your class, at the end of a movement like this where you are in a nice stable position and you've got no more reps left of driving the elbows back, you could do some partials at the end with some shrugs and really get the most out of it. I don't need traps for my class and I definitely don't need no more traps, so I don't. Next exercise is the lat focus row. Again, I do this usually on the prime machine row. So pick something of similar-ish variety, which is the Atlantis. I love this machine. I wish that we had it at UltraFlex. It's one of my favourites, especially for lats. So one of the common mistakes that people make once they start to train properly with their form on lat movements is that they try to keep their scapula a little bit too restricted. You don't want active protraction or retraction, but you do want to allow for your scapula to move, otherwise you'll not be able to get stretch and squeeze. So when you bring your arm to almost a straight position, because you want to fully extend your arm on every single rep, you can allow for that little bit of travel forwards. I've still got tension in my lat there, but I am getting a full stretch. And then as you drive it through, lots of people kind of leave it there, bring it all the way into your hip, that almost thinking about your lat wrapping into your spine, you'll get a really nice squeeze. The better you can keep your range of motion, the better the movement will be. Oh. Next movement is another lat movement, all the lats. So this is a cable lat pull down. Here, what I'm trying to think about is keeping my pelvis tucked under so that my lower back stays nice and flat. If my lower back stays flat, more chance of me being able to keep my tummy nice and tight, meaning that I'll be able to create more tension into my lats. Again, trying to think about full extension with my arm, allowing for a nice stretch into my lat before allowing my elbow to come all the way into my hip again for full squeeze into my lat to get lots and lots of contraction at the bottom. I love this movement. Everybody bashes it, but I love it. Obviously my last rep wasn't a very good form, so what I would aim to do next time is get that last rep with perfect form, and that's another form of progressive overload. Second to last exercise is hip thrusts. I usually do it with a barbell, but there's not actually anywhere in here to be able to do it, because if it's a little bit too high, you just take a lot of tension into your knees as in the bench, and there's no low benches. So I've just gone for the glute drive. That felt really good. That's actually a rep PB on that weight, so I'm very happy. That felt really good in my glutes. That machine that I did at the start really got my glutes going. People might need to get that, because that felt fantastic. Last exercise now is going to be the split squats, so we're going to move on to them.
There's no saying in Tennessee, I know it's the best in Tennessee, it's just boom and once.
OGs and young bosses, we bounce back when we take losses. I pray we all get prayed for. I pray we all can make more. No time writing is the type of people that even in the game, that this shit is that. I'm constant, yeah. The more people I know, I'm in this video with hate. Cash my folks. A lot on my plate. I'll give it all away for it's not me face. Shout out to rappers who inspire me in my beginning. Who I inspire right now.
Right, that is my end. That is the end of my full session. I was going to say push. Obviously, my head's still in the clouds. But that was a really good session. I'm really happy with performance and how that all feels. Obviously, yes, I am very much just into my deficit, but I am in condition for what 12 weeks out would be. So as much as I'm frustrated that I can't do like the 4 plates on my RDL, I've got to be mindful of the fact that I am pretty lean-ish. Not quite lean yet. So yeah, I'm happy with performance, happy with how everything felt, happy with how I feel after my session. I'm actually not very hungry, which is I'm surprised at, because about 2 weeks ago when I was eating more foods, I was probably more hungry than I am now, so that's gravy. Right, I'm gonna have my post-workout and then head up home. So please like, share, subscribe. If you'd like me to cover anything, please let me know, and I will see you all later.